Hello everybody, my name is Gilbert Gallegos. I am a criminal investigator with the 42nd Security Forces Squadron out at Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama. Today I want to take just a couple minutes of your time to discuss something that I've been advocating for about a year now, and that is allowing security forces members, security forces investigators to be federally credentialed just as the Air Force Office of Special Investigations is, as well as the Army Criminal Investigative Division is. So as of right now, we are only credentialed for a specific base. So one thing I want to talk about today is the benefits of a federal credential for security forces members, as well as the reasons why leadership would be hesitant in allowing us to become federally credentialed. So as I said before, the main thing about our job right now is we are not federally credentialed. So that means we can only handle the minor crimes as outlined in AFI 71-101, which is the criminal investigative purview matrix that OSI and security forces goes through when we decide which crimes we can handle. So the minor crimes we can handle are your larcenies, your house breakings, your breaking and entry, and minor traffic accidents. Whereas being federally credentialed, that would allow us to investigate the same things that OSI does, which is murders, suicides, big frauds, wire fraud, money laundering, drug rings, the major crimes that come with a federal credential, just as like the FBI. So if you don't know, FBI and OSI they work hand in hand together. So OSI is the Air Force's version of the FBI. So that's where they get their federal credential from. They receive their federal credentials through their tech school, which is 16 weeks long. And according to the OSI's webpage, which is osi.af.mil, their 16-week course is broken down into two sections. Their first section is 8 weeks long. They learn the basic fundamentals of being an investigator. And then the next 8 weeks, they learn more advanced, crime scene photography, crime scene sketches, and handling computer fraud and any other crime that security force investigations wouldn't be able to handle. So if security force investigations were allowed a federal credential, it would increase our availability to respond to all major incidents. And if OSI is busy handling whatever crime they're on, or if they're low man, we would be able to fill in to their section or to their duty workstation and take some of those cases that they're working away from them and work on them ourselves. But without that credential, about the only thing we can handle is anything that happens on base that is a minor crime, like I said before. Also, being federally credentialed, we'd be more valuable to the Air Force. We'd get the better training. As of right now, security force investigators go to the U.S. Army Military Police School, which is in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And it's an 8-week course. And what it does is it allows us to handle just those minor crimes, like I said before. So your larcenies, traffic accidents, anything that doesn't fall under the OSI or Army CID purview. And according to Army.mil, which is the CID website, their course is also 16 weeks. So what I would say is combine the Army CID course and the Air Force Security Force Investigator course into one course, and maybe make that into either a shorter course or a longer course, depending on class availability. So then you get that federal credential coming out of there, and you would also have the notoriety of, yes, I went through the Army CID course. It's 16 weeks long, which is just as long as the Air Force OSI course. So one thing that comes out of that is the funding. So of course, it would cost more for a longer class for security force investigators. Right now, for a security force investigator to go to the Army MPI course, according to armympi.af.mil, is $6,000 per student. So if you double that to 16 weeks, that would mean for one person to attend a Army CID course, it'd be $12,000. But at the end of the day, the Air Force is going to get their money back by allowing us to work along with OSI and work the same exact cases they work and backfill their office whenever needed. So like I said before, we'd become better trained, we'd have a vast experience of knowledge, and we'd also gain more knowledge with working hand in hand with OSI on a daily basis. So we'd also be able to incorporate our resources that we have in our workstation with the resources that the Office of Special Investigations has. So there's some stuff that we control, which is our investigative skills that OSI doesn't have. So we work hand in hand with our legal office, which is covers everybody on base, whereas the Office of Special Investigations, OSI, they have to go through their region to come back down to the Air Force level or the base level, which is where I'm assigned. So we would be able to help with their caseload. As of right now, according to airforcejags.mil, in October there were 53 court-martials, and of those 53 court-martials, those are the ones that OSI investigated. So imagine if you had, a short-manned OSI office covering 53 court-martials per month. This is across the Air Force, of course, but if you double that over a year, if you make that over a year, that's 636 court-martials in 1 year in the Air Force that OSI has their hand in. So if you allow security forces investigators to work along with OSI, then that would cut their caseload in half, and which would be, instrumental to our office and their office as well. So of course there's going to be reasons why leadership would be hesitant to allow us to be federally credentialed. And one of those things is OSI still has their special tracks that they have to follow, such as computer crimes, cyber crimes, sexual assaults. And that's something that they have to, after time, attend more training to obtain that certification. And that's something that a leadership from our level wouldn't allow us to do, because they don't want to expose us to that kind of major crimes that's going on. However, if they're at that training, we can still pull in the crimes or work the crimes and cases that OSI can't handle because they are at this class or they are working on their other cases. Another thing that we would want to work on is they wouldn't want OSI to pull us away from our normal day-to-day workload. So we have our cases ourselves in security forces, and I would think that if OSI says, hey, I need your security forces investigators, my leadership is going to say, well, wait a minute, why do you need my investigators when you have 4 or 5 certified investigators working in your office? And the response to that would be, well, I've got 3 investigators working this death, this suicide, or this major crime, and I got 1 on leave and I got 1 deployed. We still need to work together to ensure the mission is accomplished. Even though they have their federal credential and we don't, we still need to find a way to work together and allow us to help them out when they need their help. And that's something that leadership needs to see. They may not necessarily know everything that's going on in an OSI section because they keep, their cases, close-lipped and close hold, just so the information doesn't get filtered out to everybody. But so leadership could be, in a sense, hesitant to send us over because they don't want to lose us, or maybe us consider cross-training into OSI, which means they lose another individual from their squadron. So that's just a couple of reasons why I think leadership would be hesitant to allowing us to be federally credentialed. And of course, along with the money, we have to fund our own TDYs, which is a temporary duty location, to these courses. And right now with, restraints on spending money for resources, I don't know that leadership would want to spend $12,000 for a 16-week course unless we can let them know that, hey, yes, you're spending this money now, but at the end of the day, the Air Force is going to get their money back for sending us to this school. They're going to get that $12,000 back when we assist OSI with their cases, when we are conducting interviews with OSI off base or wherever it is, or anything that they need help with, they're going to get their money back. Plus, we're going to be better trained, and that's going to help everybody out. So those are just a couple of the reasons, again, why leadership would be hesitant. And so today I discussed the benefits of being federally credentialed, which is we'd increase availability to respond to all types of incidents. We'd be more valuable to the Air Force, better trained, and also discuss reasons why leadership would be hesitant. You have the special tracks that OSI covers. You have the funding piece, which, of course, right now in the military is affecting everybody. So please let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for your time.